So we're going to talk about setting up client meetings for Ryan, and there's a video out there for setting up landscaping meetings for Aaron, and I kind of went through the difference between receiving a phone call from a lead or a client and knowing the difference whether you need to set that meeting with Aaron or whether you need to set that meeting with Ryan. And just to cover that briefly again, needing to set a meeting with a lead or a client that is wanting a large landscape, or it is something that is outside of our service area, way out in this area, and they know that we have a $5,000 minimum. Or if it's in our service area here, but it's going to be large, with drainage and hardscapes and, adding or changing the landscaping, then those are meetings that we want to set up with Aaron. And for that, you would reference the video that I did for setting up landscape meetings with Aaron. But for the sake of this training video, we're going to talk about receiving a call from a client or a lead in our maintenance service area. For somebody who's looking for something simple like, installing mulch, installing flowers, maybe doing some bull rock, maybe doing, maybe they have an issue with their grass and they're wanting to know what's going on with their grass, or they want an estimate for pruning and bed maintenance. That's all stuff that Ryan can handle. Basically, if it's things that the maintenance crews can take care of, then that's something that we want to go ahead and set Ryan out to go meet with, because he is the maintenance manager. So it would be his crews that would be taking care of that service for that client. So once you've determined that they're in our service area here inside the maintenance service area, you're going to do the same and you're going to add a new lead, just the same as you would for any other time. You would put their first and last name, their email address, their cell phone, their physical address, and then you'll hit save. And the process is pretty much the same. You'll go to the Google Calendar the same way, and you'll want to pick dates and times for Ryan. Now, Ryan pretty much can take meetings Monday through Friday. He prefers to take them in the morning, mostly because as the day progresses, depending on what he's doing with the crews, he might be getting dirtier. So he prefers to meet clients in the mornings when he's a little more clean. And that's just his preference. Also, if it is a maintenance client of ours, it's also good to look at the dispatch board and see when our crew is going to be near that client. So if they're a mowing client of ours, I would pull up the mowing schedule, and I would say find when they're going to be in, the mowing crew is going to be in that area. So let's say it's Deborah Watley. She's calling to set up a time to meet with Ryan. Well, we know that we mow her on Wednesdays, so let's shoot for a Wednesday to set that appointment. That just, it helps Ryan, because then he can check on the crews while he's there. He's in the same area. It's just more beneficial that way. So, and then you will do the same thing. You will look at the calendar. Okay, how about January 10th, mornings or possible afternoons if necessary. And then you will, once they say, okay, let's do 11 o'clock, you'll type in their name, and then you'll do the drop down and you'll make sure that you sign it to R Dormus 79. More options. Put in their address. Also put their address in the bottom with the Control V, and then again put in as many notes as possible. Needing mulch for the front yard, wanting pruning, estimate for backyard, and bed maintenance for the front yard. So, and then you'll hit save, and then again make sure you have a notification of 2 hours, and then you'll hit save. And then what you'll do is you go back into the client page. And you're going to want to, because this is a client of ours, you're going to want to add a job so that it pops up on Ryan's dispatch board. So you'll click Add a One-Time Job. The service if they are going to physically meet the client, you will type in client and it should pull up client meeting, and you'll want to make sure you pick the maintenance. Pick the date that we're going to do it on, the 20th, and then make sure you assign it to Ryan. And then in the notes, I would just copy and paste the same notes that you had put in the calendar. So mulch estimate for front and back, bed maintenance estimate for back. So then he knows what he's going to be doing. Now, if we are scheduling Ryan to do just a drive-by, meaning he's not going to actually meet with the client, but we're going to set it up to where he can go by to get an estimate, you wouldn't do a client meeting, you would do a lawn audit. So do lawn audit, pick the date, set it for Ryan, and put the same notes in the system. And then you're going to hit save, and there it is. And you can do if you hover over it and click view upcoming, you'll see it's scheduled, but it's not dispatched. If you click on it, you can change that pending status to dispatched. Now it'll show up on Ryan's calendar or Ryan's dispatch board, and he'll know that he needs to get that taken care of. So if it is a physical meeting where he's going to actually set a time to meet that client, you'll do the same, and you'll send an email just to confirm the appointment the same way that you did with Aaron. Type in meet, and it'll pull up meeting confirmation, and you'll fill this information in. It was so good to talk to you this afternoon. And then you will plug in, and you'll change this to Ryan, and you will plug in, let's see, Tuesday, January 3rd, between 8 and 8:30 a.m. Now, you're not going to attach the landscape questionnaire to this meeting request or meeting confirmation because that is reserved for the big landscapes that Aaron does. So once you've plugged that information in, you would hit send, and then you would make sure that you log your call and put all of your notes in there. And that is how you set up a meeting for Ryan.